Dance has never been more popular. Everybody's dancing and everybody wants to film people dancing. You know, movement and the screen go, of course, hand in hand. So it just means that the whole evolution of screen dance is changing all the time.
There's always been a real affinity between movement and cinema. You know, if we look back in history, there's some fantastic examples of that. Charlie Chaplin, one of the greatest examples that you could have.
The impact it can have can be in a very condensed form, because you can play with time in a different way. You don't need to have entrances and exits like you have on a stage.
For me, one really important thing about choreography is actually making small movements, facial gestures and so on. And in live venues, in big spaces, you just can't see it. So for me, very important is the close-up, and also the close-up of the sound, because I really want to hear the dancers. You can actually get as close as you like to the dancers. So dance film is an amazing thing for me.
Forward motion was first developed when Gregory Nash, working at the British Council, acknowledged that Britain was really leading the way in terms of finding new forms of screening dance and dance screenings. And so the first forward motion package was put together. Forward Motion 2, co-produced with Southeast Dance, allowed us to condense that whole package into something that acknowledged the historical, looked into the form and content, and then looked forward in terms of how those processes and the art form itself was developing.
The current forward motion has 3 very distinct frames. It's sort of short, immediate films, it's longer artist-created works, and then it's works selected by artists. So they all cross over a bit.
We've had a fantastic screen dance producer working with us for a number of years, Vicky Blore, who led on the project. And I guess there was also a whole body of really amazing work that I think it kind of needed a platform to be seen more widely, and I think Forward Motion provided that platform.
Forward Motion was an invaluable resource for all the workshops and residencies that happened internationally, and in particular it was wonderful in relationship to the Yellow Line project in Delhi.
The Yellow Line project is a very special project because it's the first time in India, to my knowledge, that dance artists and filmmakers have been brought together.
My journey took me to Singapore, Syria, India, South America, Australia, New Zealand, Poland. I think that's about all. It's enough.
We had 2 performances. One, the hijinks performance lecture by Liz Aggies that opened the festival, and it was really fun. I think it showed a lot of people what screen dance can be and what we can make fun of. And then we had the Argentinian premiere of Tango de Soledad, the film by Billy Cowie that screened at a very big theater with a lot of people in the audience, around 400 people. So that was really a lot of fun too.
I did quite a lot of workshops, especially in South America, on the basis of the Forward Motion, and then giving dance film workshops to students there. And it's been a fantastic experience. And for me, it's as much learning from the students that are on the courses as them learning from me. And they're making lots and lots of films, maybe 20 films for a set of workshops. And a lot of those films are actually really lovely films, and you can actually see a lot of them on the internet.
And I think one of the real outcomes of Forward Motion has been how it's acted as a catalyst for growth. So there are all these fantastic partnerships and collaborations and new relationships that are starting to happen because of that. And I think that's really important for UK artists as well. It's important to kind of look beyond the British shores to what's happening internationally.
There's a network of screen dance festivals. We call it Foro Latinoamericano de Video Danza. And there's around 15 festivals all through South America, from Mexico, Colombia, Bolivia, Ecuador, Chile, Paraguay, Brazil, and Uruguay and Argentina. And that really reflects how the genre has developed, how it has grown, and how it can reach other audiences that were not aware of its existence.
The dance scene has just completely blossomed in Egypt. We have dance studios, dance schools, regular performances. There's a new dance company being formed, and dance performances are some of the most well-attended events in Egypt.
And much work has been done, particularly in South America, in creating a legacy of really good, interesting writing about screen dance, alongside the Screen Dance Journal that has come out of the University of Brighton and the University of Wisconsin.
It's become a much bigger scene in the best sense, where it's way beyond dance film festivals or contemporary dance frames. It's just become much, much wider than that. And I like that, the legibility of where you can see it now.
In some ways I've started missing having the live elements, which is always really nice to have in the show. So I've started including live dancers along with the 3D dancers. And what I've managed to do nowadays, though, is actually have the dancers normally in the countries where I'm going to. The other thing that I've really got excited about recently is showing the pieces in installation format. So I can put a piece into an art gallery and it can stay there for 2 or 3 months. And the fantastic thing about that for me is that people come back, they can bring their friends, they can tell people, and it's a fantastic way to build up audiences over time.
I saw a fantastic clip for the Commonwealth Games that the BBC had done that was just a completely choreographically composed little kind of gem. It can't have been more than a minute, but it was just fantastically put together.
And it kind of feels that connection between cinema and movement is just going from strength to strength. And it's infiltrating so many different places now. So through the advertising industry. It's a fantastic film, The A to Z of Dance, made by ID Films for Diesel Jeans. It's a great example of how it's working in advertising.
There's a young company called Me and the Machine who have made a really interesting work where you go into a room and actually put glasses on. You see things and it asks you to dance and you have to reach your hands out, and as you reach them out there's somebody there and you basically waltz with someone. Then at the end, you know, it says thank you and goodbye, and you take your glasses off and there's no one in the room. And that piece I thought was very transporting and quite hard to say whether it's live or film, and it sort of doesn't matter, the piece works.
Dance has never been more popular than it is today, especially amongst the younger generation. I mean, everybody's dancing and everybody is filming the dance in more and more creative ways. And I guess there's a whole new generation of screen dance filmmakers who are sharing their work online all over the world. It's never been a more popular art form, actually.